I mean, without naming names, this has been big recently for a couple of reasons.
Well, we all know that thought goes out the window once the topic of cheating comes into play. We all know who the Dex is talking about here, because I'm the only person that's super vocal about being anti-cheating, and if you watch the video, it becomes even more clear that they are directly talking about me, which is why this isn't an unwarranted video. This isn't an attack on them. This is me defending myself from what they're saying about me, so that's what I'm going to say right here. So now that the Dex clearly and fully supports cheating, I have to ask this question, kind of set the tone of my video. How am I in the wrong by saying, hey kids, don't cheat? I mean, that's it. I'm just saying, don't cheat. Yet that's something wrong to say. So this is going to be a wild ride, and let's get into it.
Yeah.
But when you really consider it, number one, like, unfortunately, everybody is doing this, right?
Yeah.
So, like, there's no way around it, really.
And that brings up another interesting point of this video. At no point in the video do they defend VGC players. They don't say, I was wrong to make these unjust claims. They're pretty much saying, I'm wrong for calling them cheaters. So they're doing some kind of hypocritical weirdness right here. That's only wrong to call someone a cheater if you think cheating is wrong. But it's okay to call someone a cheater if you think cheating is right? No, they're cheaters regardless, and at no point do they say, like, do they try to defend the VGC players from cheating. They're trying to defend cheating itself, which is pretty strange if you ask me.
I just want to stress, nobody has the time. Nobody's going to get a 6 perfect IV right-natured throughout all.
Right, exactly. And what I'm saying is, like, I feel like at some point you have to. I consider cheating a criticism of the way the game is run. I don't consider it somebody trying to do something immoral to get an edge up on the competition.
Okay, hold on to that thought right there, because he thinks that cheating is not immoral and says it doesn't get an edge up on the competition. But later in the video, they literally admit that cheating creates an advantage, which goes to the definition of cheating.
I consider it a kind of like a joke to expect somebody to do this much work. Is that encouraging cheaters and putting the people who are following the rules at a disadvantage? Absolutely it is.
Oh hey, there it is. So let's go and take all of this into perspective. That they just said that if you're following the rules, breeding, catching Pokemon legitimately, it's a joke that you're doing that, and it's also putting you at a disadvantage by doing that. So we have the definition of cheating: to act dishonestly or unfairly in order to gain advantage, especially in game. And even if you don't believe that it gives an advantage, it's still cheating, because rule breaking is cheating. Cheating is getting of a reward or ability of finding an easy way out of an unpleasant situation. That is literally exactly what all the people that defend cheating in VGC say. It's a time skip. It's a time save. And even the Dex says that on later in this video. So that goes by another definition of cheating, because it doesn't have to only be about advantage. It's just rule breaking or skirting around the rules in some way. And then going back to what they said a couple sentences before, that it's not immoral to gain an advantage over someone else through cheating. Nothing about what they say in this video makes sense, and it just keeps going on like that.
Sensationalizing the idea that people are cheating, especially when it speaks none at all to their skill as battlers or their sportsmanship otherwise, I think is a lot, it's sensationalist. It's not valid.
And here's how I know they're talking about me, because that's what people use when they're trying to attack me or say something bad about me, that I'm sensationalizing this, I'm stirring up controversy and drama, and I know I'm the only person making these videos calling out the top VGC players. So they are directly calling me out on this part right here. And here's the thing about sportsmanship. It doesn't matter how many, if you do one unsporting thing, you're immediately not a sporting player. So he tries to defend him saying sportsmanship otherwise. No, there is no otherwise. The second you cheat, the second you gain an advantage over someone else unfairly and dishonestly, as we have proven, which is cheating in VGC, which they are not trying to defend isn't cheating, and they again say this later in the video, they're already being unsporting. All these VGC players that I am not wrongfully accusing are unsporting players, so there's no defending them as sportsmanship-like players. They have zero sportsmanship about them because they have cheated. And also, the skill of battling, we're going to touch on this later as well, because they start bringing up all these other points. The skill of battling is not the only skill required in VGC, and that is because the Pokemon Company, the creators of the game, say so.
Them hacking their Pokemon does not diminish their wins, because what they did to win has nothing to do with whether or not they hacked their team.
What about all the players they disadvantaged that you admit that they disadvantaged by cheating? Also, it does diminish their win because it's cheating. Look at any sports. Barry Bonds, he's not in the Hall of Fame because many people on the Hall of Fame board are not going to put him in because of his steroid use. Same for Mark McGwire. Even Pete Rose. Pete Rose, even though he didn't use steroids, he still broke rules, and he is not going to be in the Hall of Fame because of this. That it does diminish wins. That there's going to be that asterisk next to it saying, like, where people are going to know, well, did he really deserve that because he cheated? He uses steroids. He broke the rules. Same for Pokemon, that if these players did cheat, which you guys are saying that it's incredibly likely, and really the only option they had to do was cheating, it does take away from their skill in competitive Pokemon, because competitive Pokemon isn't just about battling.
And the idea that you're not a real champion unless you've spent question mark amount of hours trying to get your perfect IV natured Groudon is, quite frankly, ridiculous.
And here's where Kels chimes in, and I think it's like kind of weird that she just kind of like spurts in with some kind of thought that really just makes this whole thing seem a bit more silly. So it's laughable to follow the rules, and it's not laughable if you're disadvantaging other players. Oh, good to know that is the state of Pokemon right now.
Those two things are completely different camps of the game.
Right.
No, they are not. They're talking about breeding and then actually in battle. If they were two different camps of the game, then they would be separate in competitive play. But the Pokemon Company, the rules exist. No cheated or modified Pokemon. And then to obtain the highest level of competitive Pokemon, you need to either soft reset or you need to breed. And the rules want you to soft reset or breed. They say obtain in in-game means only. And that's because they don't want any cheating involved. If cheating was allowed, then it would be like one of the suggestions that you hear from the many people in the community, that there should be a built-in Pokegen, or it should be some kind of battle simulator, that it will be like Pokemon Showdown. That if it wasn't about breeding, this would already exist. That you'd just be able to create a team, 0 effort, and it would only be about battling, except that is not true in any way, because that is not how the game works, that is not how the rules work, that is not how the competitive scene works, which is why all the thoughts on this ground, like, are absolutely wrong because of the Pokemon Company saying so.
Like, Rayquaza survived with, 2 health remaining, and it's like, well, if he wasn't perfect IV, that wouldn't have happened.
So here they're trying to defend cheating because you need to have perfect IVs or else you're not going to be able to survive, that you are going to be at a disadvantage. But that's the reason why, that these players that are cheating, it's rule breaking every way around, they're surviving the hit that they would have not otherwise survived. That the other players that are following the rules, they're going to be disadvantaged in this way, so they're not going to be able to do the same thing that these cheaters are doing, which is why it diminishes their wins, because they had an advantage that others didn't.
Yeah. If you're that trainer who values your ability to breed Pokemon and you believe that is part of being a champion, I think a healthier solution for the Pokemon Company is to make it very easy to spec your Pokemon for battle however you like.
So yeah, this is talking about a simulator or some kind of instant team builder. Now this is a really weird statement that Alex makes here, because he sets up like, oh, if you think you're a breeder and then that is value, he doesn't even answer that question. He sets this up and then diverts it immediately because he realizes he has nowhere to take this, because he doesn't want to call out breeders directly and say that we're wasting our time, but then he deflects it from the breeders onto the Pokemon Company. Oh, by the way, now it's the Pokemon Company's fault that they haven't set this up yet, but that is irrelevant. For my videos, for the 2015, even 2014 because of Ray Rizzo's Aegislash, for the last years I've been talking about cheating, it's all irrelevant because I'm talking about following the rules now. If the rules change in the future, well then my videos are going to be done differently, but it's talking about as it's happening. And as it stands right now, this statement has no relevancy to my videos, to everything I've said, and to the community. And I think the competitive community has it wrong, that they think that they are better than the creators of the game, that they think they are better than the Pokemon Company, so they're allowed to determine and dictate what actually counts for the rules, even though they didn't make the rules. They have no influence over the rules. And that's why I feel like the competitive community in VGC is terrible, and it's creating all of this cheating mentality, and now it's just being perpetuated by Dex. Remember, over 200,000 subscribers, so this is just more people trying to condone and make cheating a thing in mainstream. It's about pandering instead of actually doing what is right. And remember, let's remove Pokemon from this. how is it wrong to say, don't cheat? I can't think of any morality where I've heard that cheating is okay. So, like, removing Pokemon from that, it's like, yeah, these guys are teaching immoral values, and they think it's not immoral because cheating is okay. Disregarding Pokemon. Just cheat. Cheat everywhere, kids. Everything in life to cheat is okay.
You know, YouTubers who would rather, you know, drum up controversy than be creative for a day in their lives.
And here's another personal attack on me. So, apparently, I haven't been creative for a day in my life because I want to do controversy, even though you can look at all my videos. Like, less than 1%, maybe less than 2% of all of my videos. I have 2,900 videos. I've been doing this for 3 years, and apparently I haven't been creative at all of that because every day I just talk about how cheating is wrong. Every single video is about drumming up controversy about these VGC players that have cheated, and that it's wrong to call them cheaters, even though it's right to call them cheaters as long as you think cheating isn't wrong. So that's where it's like, okay, so it's controversial to say don't cheat. And that's like where you can see, like, Alex's voice and tone starts getting really aggressive, like, as this gets more and more. That's where you can tell it starts getting directed at me. And it's all about by saying cheating is right. I don't understand how these people can support these values and then turn it on attack because, oh, I'm not creative. You know, all my sets, all of my guides, none of that is creative because I think cheating is wrong. Wonderful.
Don't drag the reputation of good sportsmen through the mud because you disagree with the fact that they did something to save some time.
And there it is again, the time save argument, which goes back to just, it's literally definition cheating at this point, and then trying to use sportsmanship. That is a flat out untruth. That is not correct in any way. I feel like he knows he's lying at that point because he had to say sportsmanship otherwise earlier. And I was not even saying otherwise. He's saying, oh, all the VGC players are good sportsmanship. You know, the good sportsmanship that comes from time stalling, which is shown as not being sporting under the rules of Pokemon. Also, giving the middle finger to 30,000 viewers, mostly kids, in the audience. That is obviously complete sportsmanship right there, and then especially cheating. It is absolutely okay to cheat because that is a completely sporting behavior, according to Alex right here. No, once you do one unsporting thing, you are not a sporting player at all, and you cannot defend them as sporting players. So if they have cheated, how am I dragging their reputation through the mud by saying they cheated? Here's the evidence that they cheated. It's cheating. Cheating is wrong. That's why the whole tone of this video is, how is it bad to say cheating is wrong? How am I that's like saying the people that called out Barry Bonds for steroids were just unrightfully dragging his reputation through the mud. Anyone that's done anything controversial in any sport, esport, or game like that, people that have used aimbots, oh, this guy got proven to use an aimbot at a tournament. It's so wrong to say that he cheated at the event, even though he used something that was against the rules. It's all the same, and yet these guys defend it.
Yes, genning and hacking Pokemon, it does fall under cheating.
It absolutely does, but what I'm saying is consider criticism and change Pokemon.
So now, again, it's the Pokemon's fault. This just shows more about how the community thinks that they know better than the creators of the game, than the enforcers of the rules. Yeah, you gotta change Pokemon. We know better as the community, not as the game creators. We want this to be what we think it is. And they just admit, they literally admit that it's cheating. So, like, do I even need to go any further? They're saying everyone has to do it. Like, throughout this video, they're like, yeah, everyone has to do it. And it's sporting to cheat, but because everyone has to do it, and it is indeed cheating, but it's not our fault we cheat. It's the Pokemon Company's fault we cheat. That's the most backwards, stupid logic in defense of cheating that could be said.
And they're trying not to, like, shame anybody because those people just don't deserve shame.
So cheaters don't deserve shame. You heard it here from the National Dex themselves, that you should not be allowed to shame people for breaking the rules. What?
They have to do that just to survive in the competition.
Yeah, right. So all I ask is if you're out there and you are in that position where you feel like it's going to be really funny if you go comment on somebody's, video, or you're going to go be nasty to somebody about genning Pokemon, just stop and think about this conversation for a minute before you do that. Because
hopefully we said it all right.
Yeah. I'm not trying to be mean towards anyone unless you're using this to your advantage monetarily.
And there's Alex's aggression once again directed at me. It's like, Yeah, you know, if you think it's wrong, cheat. I'm not mad at you unless you're doing it for monetary gain. Trying to flip this on me like I'm only doing it for views, I'm only doing it for money. It's impossible that I'm doing this because I think cheating is wrong. No, I'm only doing it for controversy, even though throughout the entire history of my channel, throughout my entire Pokemon playing, I've been against cheating. But it's such an absurd concept to be against cheating, which they admit you can't avoid. That, again, they say, like, everyone has to cheat. You have to cheat to survive in this. But it's okay, since cheating is okay. I do not understand this video. I don't understand why it was directed at me. I don't know where it came from. Sure, the question posed was, I feel like I have to cheat to get by in VGC, and then they just turn it into a rant about me. It's like... And then they also, here's the funny thing. They say I'm doing it for monetary gain when they are saying the popular opinion. They're going against morality. They're saying it's okay to cheat to gain more views, to gain more attention, to gain more favor. You know, this is pandering right here. And that's what they're doing for their own gain, but then they try to flip on me. Okay, so it's right to call out, it's right to say cheating is okay because that's going to get you more views, but it's wrong to say cheating is wrong because that's going to get you more views. Alrighty then, so... there we go, guys. National Dex, another one to the list of large YouTubers that absolutely are in favor of cheating. And there we go. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.